All right. Now I have a question. The question I have is concerning whether or not this storyline would have worked in AEW. So I'm going to go through it and I'm curious about what any of you think. All right. So here it goes. All right. Now, we got to go back some years. This is a 2021, 2022, 2020, I think 2021, 2022, if I'm correct. Um, you had Adam Cole, Brian Danielson or Danielson Brian, whatever name he was using. He's using Ruby Soho and CM Punk debuting within a relative um, close proximity of time, you know, when they debuted. So it might probably even the same night, possibly for some of them. I'm not sure. So here's the idea. I thought about back then after they debuted. I thought, why not have like like an invasion angle type of thing? Reminiscent of, years past. So, I thought about it and then I've always wanted to mention it or put something like this out there to ask people what they would think. So I'm going to, you know, talk about it and see whether or not anybody agrees or thinks it's stupid. But I'm curious. So here it goes. I'm going to go through how it would go. I don't know if it's perfectly thought out or not, but it's an idea and I'm curious about what people would think. All right, so here it goes. When Adam Cole, Daniel Bryanson, Ruby Soho, and CM Punk debuted, this is how I would have set it up. I don't know if it's a good idea or it's correct to set it up this way, but this is what I was thinking. So here it goes. Again. All right, so week one had Adam Cole. They're sitting at ringside or in the audience. Week two, Brian Danielson. Week three, Ruby Soho. Week four, CM Punk. But when they are sitting in the audience, they're by themselves each week, and the others aren't there. Week five, you have them all sitting together, but not close up, farther back. And then week six, a little bit closer. Week seven, a little bit closer. Week eight, front row. So that's 2 months. Then week nine, have someone go up to interview them, or CM Punk at least, or interview one of them, and they walk off. Okay, that's week nine. Week 10, have them at the top of the ramp walk out. They go to interview them, but they're laughing, they're making fun of the wrestling, and they try to interview them again, they walk off. Then for weeks, week 11, week 12, they take over the announcing table, making it fun of the wrestlers and, making fun of them, saying shit, talking shit for week 11 and 12. Then week 13, they actually start interfering with AEW wrestlers, fucking with matches, doing shit, getting involved. And then that's week 13. Week 14, they're still interfering. Then week 15 and week 15, they interfere with the originals. Would be Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and either Chris Jericho or MJF. The pillars of the company that they started calling people. The pillars. So I'm gonna call them the pillars. And then week 16, they taunt the originals. You know what I mean? They're interfering with them. They're taunting them. Week 17, so far it's 4 months. Week 17, they cut a promo. Week 18, the originals cut a promo. Week 19, week 20, I thought that, no, wait. Week 18, the originals challenged them to a fight at the pay-per-view. Sorry, I had to back up. They challenge them at the pay-per-view. But they say they have a mystery partner. So, Ruby Soho wouldn't be in the match. It would be CM Punk Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson in the match with a mystery partner. Then they would win, each person would win belts. Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson would win the tag team championships. CM Punk would win one of the, at the time, I'm not sure what championship they had at the time. That would be like the equivalent to the Intercontinental Championship or something like that. Rudy Soho would win the Women's Championship, and like I said, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson would win the tag team titles. So that would be week 19, week 20 with winning belts. Then the pay per view would come, and they would want, so the pay per view would be um, CM Punk. Ruby Soho wouldn't fight at that pay per view. She would just be at ringside. So it'd be CM Punk, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, mystery partner. The pillars, AEW originals would be Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, MJF or Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. So it would be a 4-on-4 contest. So now they're at the pay per view and it starts, but Cody Rhodes gets attacked, and they don't know whether or not he's going to wrestle. Okay, he was beaten, he's bloody, he's battered, and they have it on camera. That he's attacked, or I don't know how they would do it. I don't know how you would do that. I'm not a I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid. It's not as good as it used to be, but I'm not sure as a booker how you would do that. Would you do it on camera to show that that he was attacked, or would you have just announced that he was attacked? So the match goes on. You're waiting for their mystery partner. Cody Rhodes is out. So it's Dustin Rhodes, Kenny Omega. I don't know. I think probably MJF at the time. I think might be the one to be in it. So it's those three probably versus CM Punk, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson. So the fight's going on. They're going on. It's going back and forth. They're doing the heelish stuff. And then Cody Rhodes makes his way down the aisle, battered and bruised and ugly, because what happens is that they hold Dustin Rhodes in the middle of the ring and just beating the shit out of him, basically. So Cody Rhodes comes with a chair or a bat or something, gets into the ring, helps his brother up, and then he has this evil grin on his face and attacks Dustin Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the mystery man. Now, my question at this moment is, would this kind of heel turn, given that Cody Rhodes did help build an actual wrestling company, I believe, I think that's what he did, would it be a bigger heel turn, this one for Cody Rhodes, or when Hulk Hogan turned heel? Which one would have been the biggest? Because Hulk Hogan didn't build a company and own it and turn on it. He just turned on WCW. That he did help, but he just turned heel. Cody Rhodes would be turning on the company that he helped build or was a part of from the beginning. So, I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. So let's go more with the storyline. So Cody Rhodes attacks Dustin Rhodes. CM Punk, Adam Cole, and Bryan Danielson go back into the ring. Of course, they fight off the others, and everybody else is in disbelief that Cody Rhodes was the mystery partner, that he was the inside guy. So now that everybody else is laid out on the floor outside of the ring, Adam Cole, CM Punk, Daniel Bryanson hold up Dustin Rhodes on his knees, aiming at his brother, and have Cody Rhodes cut a promo on his brother. Now, I don't know if a promo like this would be good. I don't know if Dustin and Cody Rhodes would go along with something like this, but have him say how, I don't know if you would have him say that Dusty was ashamed of him because he had a character like Goldust. Like, do you use that and say that he was ashamed of him, or Cody Rhodes is saying all that? Would you use that, you know, in a promo against his brother, or would he say something completely different? You know, I don't know. I don't know if he would use that or not. I don't know if it would be appropriate to use Dusty in that manner in a storyline like that. I don't know if they would be okay with it. I don't know what they would do with it, but I'm just wondering, would that be good? And then it's over. But you know, the show's over, the heels leave the ring, and then Dustin Rhodes is still in the ring, battered, and just laying there. And he gets out the ring, and he's not walking fast, he's walking slow, like hurt. Not only is he hurt physically, but he's hurt psychologically, emotionally, because his own brother turned on him. But not only on him, he turned on back on AEW, the fans, the other wrestlers in the back, and then interview him as he's leaving the aisle and have him say, they ask, well, what happened? What's going on with Cody or whatever? He goes, I don't know. I don't understand. Like a somber voice. The person talking to me in that ring was not Cody Rhodes. It was Cody Runnels. And he was talking to Dustin Runnels. And like cry and have tears on his face or something like that. And then just walk off and you end the pay-per-view. So now the regime, I thought about calling it the Rhodes regime or the Cody regime or just the regime or the new regime. Um, call it that or something. I'm not sure what to call it. So I don't know so I thought going forward, Dustin disappears. They interview him I remember back when I was a kid, by quote unquote satellite. But they interview him, he's not ready to talk, and they have like what I would do is like an interview like with Jim Ross had with Mankind, Mick Foley years ago, to where, they were sitting, I think were they sitting, they weren't sitting on, were they sitting on a couch? They were sitting on a couch or they were sitting on chairs beside each other. I can't remember exactly. And then Mick Foley attacked Jim Ross, and that's what kind of made people understand that Mick Foley is good. So, so after that, what I would do is, have Dustin go away for a while, like I said, and then I would have Kenny Omega challenge Cody Rhodes for the AEW title because it should be with an AEW wrestler. Because he turned his back, have him cut a promo, all that stuff, and then Cody cuts a promo and says, "You can have a title shot, but you have to go through Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, and CM Punk, but not in a night or in a couple weeks, each pay-per-view." So I don't know if you could use that to extend the storyline a little bit. So basically, first pay-per-view, the next pay-per-view, he would have to face Kenny Omega would have to face Adam Cole. This pay-per-view after that would be Bryan Danielson. Pay-per-view after that would be CM Punk. And the pay-per-view after that would be Cody Rhodes. So you have 4 more months of the storyline. I don't know if you would do that or it sounds stupid, or if you have Adam Cole face him, you know, on Dynamite and then 2 pay-per-views, or a Dynamite 1 week, 2 weeks later, another Dynamite, and then CM Punk a pay-per-view main event, or each of them a main event a pay-per-view for the next 4 months. So he beats, and I would have Kenny Omega beat Adam Cole, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure what name he's using right now. All right, at the time, and you would have him face Cody Rhodes, but he loses to Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes retains the title. But you know whose music plays? Dustin Runnels, not Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Runnels comes back. Rhodes comes back. Dustin Runnels comes back, and I would have him jacked. You have him jacked. You have him ready to go, best shape of his life, and you have him come back and just stand there at the entrance. And Cody Rhodes can't believe it. None of them can believe it. And he's just standing there, jacked now, and then cuts off. And then have at the next pay-per-view, or a couple pay-per-views later, I don't know how you would do it, but the next one, have it Dustin Runnels versus Cody for the championship, and Dustin wins the title and brings it back to AEW. So, I mean, there's brother versus brother, there's a heel turn, have emotion, so I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that's good, but yeah, let me know what you all think, and like, comment, follow, share, whatever. All right. So, all right, thanks for listening. All right. Out.